What's the issue, dear? Why do you hate the Boxtrolls so much? Is it the way the movie's poorly written, or the lack of entertainment value, or the one-dimensional portrayal of the characters? And although we know the animation washes well, it always ends up being unimpressive, but you'll never understand why the reviews are so positive. It's so much of a fixer-upper. It's got a lot of flaws, like the writer's peculiar brain. He always has a thing with two words. That's a little side of nature's loss. So it's so much of a fixer-upper. But this we're turning off. You can fix this fixer-upper with a massive rant video. Oh boy. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this rant, but honestly, I don't care. Let's just get this over with. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another review. Oh wait, scratch that. This is not a review. This is a rant on the Boxtrolls. Oh sorry, scratch that. More like the box turds. So the Boxtrolls is the third film from Laika. Still my favorite stop motion animated studio, even with this shit out. It came out in the year 2014. By the way, this movie celebrated its 10th anniversary 2 days ago. So I don't want to be heartless. So happy 10th anniversary to this film, I guess. Anyways, guys, I know ranting on movies. Bad movies for their anniversaries is heartless, but it's not really. I mean, I just want to give my thoughts just 2 days after its 10th anniversary, so I don't look heartless. And by the way, okay, moving on. It is directed by Graham Annable and Anthony Stachy, and it stars Isaac Hempstead Wright, Elle Fanning, Ben Kingsley, D. Bradley Baker, Toni Collette, Jared Harris, Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, Tracy Morgan, Richard Ayoade, etc. And the film tells the story, or if you can even call this one a story, of an orphan boy raised by underground creatures called the Boxtrolls, who comes out from the sewers and out of his box to save his family and town from the evil exterminator Archibald Snatcher, who apparently knows that Boxtrolls exist, despite a witness named Winnie, a little girl, seeing these Boxtrolls, but nobody believes her. But the Snatcher wants to get rid of the Boxtrolls in order to win a white hat and a tasting of cheese. So, together with Lord Portly Rand. Now, as I said in my review of Coraline, I am a Laika fan. I love Laika. Even though, yes, they did make one horrible film, which I am ranting on now, and one painfully average film, which is Missing Link. I mean, Laika's strengths are actually the main reason why they're my favorite. And as much as, I'd say that Aardman's a little more consistent with how many good movies they make. I'd say that Laika's best films are more rewatchable. I mean, they made Coraline my absolute favorite stop motion animated film of all time. Yeah, I don't need to say how much I absolutely love Coraline. Coraline is my favorite animated film of 2009, and in my top 3 favorite movies of that year in general. So yeah, while Paranorman isn't a masterpiece and it isn't anywhere near among the greatest stop motion animated films ever, Paranorman is still a fun and enjoyable zombie flick. So yeah, but you know what they released after Paranorman? Yep, this movie right here. I did see this one in theaters. I saw this one in cinemas, and honestly, guys, I never liked this movie to begin with. I never liked it, and yeah, I've always disliked this movie. Even like when 10-year-old me saw this one in theaters, I've always hated this movie. And yeah, and until now, I still hate this movie to this day. But yeah, every time I talk to people about my thoughts in Boxtrolls and say that I hate this movie, they would get mad at me for it. Yeah, that's how much people would like the Boxtrolls. Not only did this movie get positive reviews, but it got a nomination for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. What the fuck, Oscars? I'm sorry, but why the fuck would you nominate this disaster? And people have the audacity to blame Disney for like winning the Oscars with Big Hero 6. And by the way, you know what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about the fact that the Boxers was nominated and people blame Big Hero 6. No, what I'm talking about is the infamous snub of the Lego Movie, one of the best animated films of 2014. Sure, yes, there were two animated films nominated that I would actually prefer over the Lego Movie. How to Train Dragon 2, my favorite How to Train Dragon film, and my fourth favorite DreamWorks film of all time. And my favorite animated film of 2014, and the correct winner, the well-deserved winner, in my opinion, Big Hero 6, which I think is one of the most underappreciated films from Disney. But in regards to the other nominees, the infamous Lego Movie snub. One of the main the one movie that how do I say this, the one movie that deserves to be removed from Best Anime Feature in favor of the Lego Movie is the Boxtrolls. I'm sorry, but what is it about this film that's so Oscar worthy about it? Like, nothing at all. Nothing in this movie is Oscar worthy. In fact, it deserves Razzies more than Oscars. I mean, boss, what did this movie even do that allowed this movie to warrant a nomination more than the Lego? Sorry, more than the Lego Movie. Seriously, what is it? And what do people like about this movie? Seriously, now, if you like this movie or let alone love the Boxtrolls, I totally respect your opinion. But just tell me, what is it about this movie that makes it good? Makes this movie just good? I don't see it. I helicoptered. But yeah, I don't see what's good about this film. It's hard to believe that a film like the Boxtrolls was made by the same studio as my favorite stop-motion animated film, Coraline. I think you already know that Laika is my favorite stop-motion animated studio. So yeah, and honestly, guys, this did not feel like a Laika film at all. This I don't acknowledge this as canon to other Laika films. Even if Missing Link is not that good, at least it somewhat feels canon to Laika's filmography. And yeah, in regards to the Best Animated Feature nominees, yeah, this is right up there with the Boss Baby, Ferdinand, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Shark Tale as some of the worst animated films to be nominated for Best Animated Feature. Yeah, I mean, if people love to roast the hell out of Boss Baby for getting nominated for Best Anime Feature over the Batman movie, well, so can the Boxtrolls. So yeah, I am going to roast the living hell out of this film right here. Now, if you've seen my original review of the Boxtrolls on Letterboxd a couple of years ago, I will admit that I did take my hatred towards the film a little too far. I called it the worst animated film of 2014. No, it's not. Actually, it's not. That would go to the nut job. The shit job, or rather the crap job. But yeah, the nut job is not only the worst animated film of 2014, but my worst movie of 2014 in general. And yes, guys, I am going to be doing a rant, an extreme rant on the nut job, probably in November, because October I got some other reviews to do. specifically for Halloween season. And I would also consider Legends of Oz Dorothy's Return worse than this. And yes, a rant on that shitty ass film will be made in preparation for Wicked, as I review three Wizard of Oz movies in preparation for it. The original Oz the Great and Powerful, and yeah, that shitty ass animated film right there. And I will say that at least it's not an irredeemable disaster, as there is actually one thing I genuinely liked in this film that keeps it away from being the worst animated film of 2014, and that is Winnie, Elle Fanning's character. Now I know may think, oh, but Frozen, you're just a woman glazing again. Winnie's actually a bad character. She's one of the worst characters in the film. Yeah, but I actually do think Winnie is genuinely likable. She's like the only character to not be gross. She feels like the only normal character when every other characters in this film are either just gross, stupid, or unlikable. And she's harmless. She's also pretty cute as well. And I like the Elle Fanning's voice performance as Winnie way better than Aurora from Maleficent, which came out earlier in that same year. But that's all for what I liked about this film. So now on to what I hate about this film and all the reasons why I hate the Boxtrolls. First of all, this movie has none of what makes Laika such a special studio. Their creative and imaginative concepts that allows them to push the boundaries of animation. So look at Coraline, for example. And by the way, there might be a lot of Coraline comparisons, but I do apologize for that. But yeah, but it is true that I'm just it's just to show how embarrassing this was for Laika standards. Coraline is a movie about a young girl transporting into an alternate reality where it's the happiest place in the world on the outside, but a dangerous place on the inside. Now that is a creative premise that shows how creative animation can be. A movie about trolls living in the sewers and a boy raised by trolls is not creative at all for a premise by the same studio as Coraline. Plus the fact that the actual storyline and message in this film, they're so cliche, generic, and done to death. Oh, the movie's about monsters, but they're actually good guys, and the humans are actually afraid of them, and they see them as actual monsters because of their look. So there's this evil bad guy who has to get rid of the monsters and get rid of the monsters, and this one guy has to prove that they are actually good guys and not monsters, and they change their minds and defeat the guy who wants to get rid of the monsters. Oh, isn't that original? People have the audacity to criticize Abominable for having a story that you've heard many times before, but at least Abominable is enjoyable and heartwarming. It actually has good characters, something that the Boxtrolls is the complete opposite at. The main character, Eggs, is such a nobody with no personality whatsoever. What happened to Laika making three-dimensional characters like Coraline or Kubo or even Paranorman? Or why is Eggs such a bland one-dimensional protagonist with who's so devoid of personality? He's just so perfect with his. He thinks that his life is so perfect, like being raised by Boxtrolls and living underground. He actually does not question question anything. A good character like that, a good character who's raised by creatures and lives in the sewers, would want to be curious about what it's like to be human, what it's like to be with other humans. But no, X is like, screw humans, I'm so perfect, I have no problem living. Oh, but there's a problem. That's nature. Oh, they're afraid of us. We need to show them that we're actually good. Yeah, that's basically his conflict right there. His inner conflict. Yeah, what a bland conflict. Yeah, and it seems like the directors have no idea what to do with his character, because the setup for him is that he's just so perfect with his life. He doesn't question anything. A good character would question his life. And yeah, and oh yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, and let's not forget the side characters. Good God, the Snatcher and Lord Portly Ring are even worse characters than the eggs. Talk about a nothing villain. The Snatcher's motivation for capturing Boxtrolls, it's just to get a white hat and have some cheese. Oh yeah, and do you want to know why exactly the Snatcher wants the hat? Oh, because he found it on the ground. Yeah, he just like he see yeah you know like when Winnie throws the hat at the ground and the Snatcher picks it up and returns it. He apparently reveals that he wants it, and he's like, "Oh, I have a secret. Oh, don't worry, don't forget, we have a deal. If I capture the Boxtrolls, I will have the hat and eat cheese with you." So it implied that there was already a motivation previously to prior to the events of this film. But yeah, there was a motivation on why Snatcher wants the hat. Oh, but apparently he does. Apparently, he does not say what his motivation actually is. Why did he make the deal with Lord? Oh dear Lord. Yeah, no pun intended, by the way. And Lord is Lord. What's his name again? What the hell is his name again? Lord something some Lord Portly Rin. Yeah. So yeah, Lord Portly Rin is so unlikable. He's such a jackass, and he is such a meanie, and yeah, when he's throwing his white hat out of the window, yeah, he deserved that because of just how shitty he is. And don't get me started on the fact that this movie shoehorned in my arch nemesis of movie cliches, the "I don't believe you, you're crazy" cliche. Where basically Winnie tells her father that she saw a Boxtrolls and a boy with them, and her father thinks she's crazy. And as for my thoughts on the animation, honestly, it's not impressive at all. And isn't stop motion supposed to be one of the best methods of animation that push the boundaries of animation? Well, yeah, stop motion is very underappreciated because a lot of these stop motion animated films don't get enough recognition, But the animation in this one is basically a perfect example of how bad stop motion animation looks like. There's no imagination nor creativity. It's just so dull, dry, and pretty much a nothing. Some of the positive reviews I read up reviewers say that this movie is dark, but where is the dark tone? I gotta ask. This movie is not dark at all. It's so lighthearted, safe, and childish. It's also gross and immature as well. Like, there's a scene in this film where Eggs eats a cheese, spits it out from his mouth, and then eats it in front of more people who are more civil and polite with their manners in a ball. Yeah, with rich people. Yeah, way you go, Eggs. Ugh. And don't get me fucking started on the Boxtrolls getting naked. What is it with these kids' movies having cartoon nudity in it and thinking that that's funny and kids will laugh at it? That is a borderline illumination levels of humor, right? Of unfunny, shitty humor right there. Not to mention, the movie is lifeless and boring as well. The pacing, especially the first half, is so slow. Like, it has the pacing of a snail. And people who's Coraline overrated say that movie is boring. Well, no, it's not. At least Coraline has a good narrative around it. Y'all are just not paying attention, and you just want fart jokes after. You're just waiting for shitty kiddie humor. Yeah, there is no fun, no enjoyment to be found. It's just a lifeless movie. So overall, The Boxtrolls is one of the most overrated movies I have ever seen in my life, as well as the most overrated movie of 2014. While Winnie was a solid character with Elle Fanning delivering a solid performance. Everything else about the movie is just rubbish due to how boring, childish, uncreative, unimaginative, lazy, unfunny, gross, and stupid it is. It's honestly nearly borderline unwatchable. And I have no idea like what people were seeing when they said this movie's dark. I mean, do you all know? Do you guys know? Do you guys even know what dark animated films actually are? This movie is not it. And to those of people who say that, oh, but you'll only hate this movie just because of Disney. Well, shut up right there. Shut up, Disney haters. So yeah, with that said, guys, I'm going to give the Boxtrolls 1 star out of 5. Terrible movie. So for my rant on the Boxtrolls, at least the Leica stepped up with Kubo and the 2 strings after that, which is a masterpiece. And I know, we're getting a new Leica movie next year that goes by the name of Wildwood. Hopefully, Wildwood is one of Leica's better films, even though I highly doubt it'll top Coraline and Kubo. Maybe Kubo, but Coraline, I just know that nothing can top Coraline as the best Leica film. Wildwood would be my second most anticipated animated film of 2025. Second only behind, of course, Zootopia 2. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Boxtrolls? Would you agree with me that the Boxtrolls is overrated and terrible? Or do you think that this is actually a good movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review of Joker, the first Joker film from 2019, leading up to Joker Folie à Deux. So yeah, bye guys.